Chick Hicks and is like racing through like the other two, and you've got the King, and the King crashes into a wall. That's kind of what it feels like to me. I think that like as far as this is concerned, he's still the King. Everybody knows that this guy at any point in time can make a Super Bowl run. But that being said, the King has been regressing for 3 seasons. This year he didn't play great. He was probably barely top 10. Like even if he was, he's probably barely top 10. People are going to bring up that he got injured. He got injured right as his team was about to be eliminated from the playoffs. There's no excuse for Mahomes being injured. This guy was about to get eliminated from the playoffs regardless. He does not look like the same Mahomes that we saw like 3 years ago. It's like Jules said, this is like a decision I'm making lightly to put him out of the top 4 or whatever. It's been 3 years of this kind of regression. If anything, I'm actually giving Mahomes a massive benefit of the doubt, because what I'm basically saying is like, even though you've been regressing for 3 years, even though you just basically missed the playoffs, like, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt for 1 more year. He needs to prove to me he should be allowed to stay in the top 5. For the people that think that he is still somehow a like top 1 quarterback, because I know there are some people that still think he's the best quarterback in the league, he's not. I get he can make magic happen. I get it. He's the magic man. He is not the best quarterback in the league. There are 4 quarterbacks, I think, that are definitively better.
Yeah, well, you two targeted a member of the top 4, so I'm going to target a member of the top 4. Number 5, Josh Allen. Not only are you not a top 4 quarterback in the NFL anymore, but you are not the leader of your own team. We've been begging for months to see the Winter Soldier return. We've been begging to see Josh Allen come back and carry this team. We've been begging just to see a glimpse of the old Josh Allen. Since you've married Haley Steinfeld, you forgot how to play football, and that's just I'm not even. It's not even like a joke anymore. Like it literally, like if you trace it back to that point, that is when I feel like you forgot how to play football. You are still better than all of the guys below you, and I firmly believe that. But I can't sit back and give you any more grace on anything. You should be third, if not the second best quarterback in football, and everything you do now just sucks. Like it sucks. You look like a fullback that can kind of throw a football now. I'm over it. I can't anymore. Josh, pick your shit up and get back into the top 2, please.
Hopefully my connection's better. Everything's going wiry on my end. That's my bad. My number 5 guy is who I believe should have been the MVP this year, in Drake May. I do understand the playoff woes. That's completely fine. I was a big predicator. You look like dog shit. But the regular season does matter to me a little bit, and I don't care about the strength of schedule stuff because we don't keep that consistent with arguments with other people who won MVP and shit like that. Drake May is probably top 5, and unless otherwise, if there's regression, he'll move down. But I think the should have been MVP winner is a solidified top 5 guy this year. So Drake May is at number 5.
That's fair. So for my number 4, I have Josh Allen. This is I kind of like echoing what Justin said. Like it used to be for me that Josh Allen was like 100%. Even if he was 4, he definitely had an argument to be top 3. After this year, he doesn't have an argument to be top 3 anymore for me. Like Josh Allen, he this season he got carried by James Cook. It felt like he lost passion after he got engaged. That's what it felt like. It felt like he kind of tapped out a little bit and was like, I'm okay. And I think in the playoffs we saw a little bit of the Winter Soldier, but it wasn't anywhere near like where we're used to seeing with Josh Allen. It was just like it was like the spark was gone, and I feel like it's just like I don't know. It's very disappointing. I hope he still has the same passion for the game. We kind of need him to in order to beat Mahomes. But that being said, I just think that Josh Allen, he needs to really prove something next year. Next year, he's got to show, hey, listen, I do have absurd talent. I do have the ability, and I'm going to punch myself back into that top 3. But until then, I have him at number 4. And I want to say for the record, Jules, I'm very disappointed you don't have Jaden Daniels in your top 10. But anyways, continue.
Sorry, my other co-host was banging at the door. She was really trying to get in. Number 4, I have the MVP, Matthew Stafford. I'm not going to be like a certain other biased member of this podcast and say that he's a receiver creator. However, I'm going to say that what he did this year is a bounce back year for what he did, and he's been playing probably the most stagnant football out of any quarterback in football. He's just kind of riding his plateau on his way out the door. I'm waiting for the regression year to happen. Stafford cracks my top 4. Josh drops out of it. I never wanted to see that day, but we're at a point in football where, to be honest with you, and I've been probably the most hypocritical person on football, but football fucking sucked this year. Teams sucked this year. Quarterback play sucked this year. So even going back the last 2-3 years, nothing has been spectacular quarterback play-wise. I don't know what happened to the sport. I don't know why these leaders can't do their jobs anymore, but it's annoying to me. Quarterbacks are supposed to lead teams. Quarterbacks are supposed to be the reason their teams get there, and their defenses are supposed to win them championships. Offense gets you to the playoffs. Defense wins you a playoffs. These quarterbacks have been mediocre for the last 2 to 3 years. So I would like to see somebody make a jump. And until then, Stafford can stay in my top 4 because he's been the least inconsistent on anybody.
I'll keep this short and sweet because this dog's fucking pissing me off and I don't want this dog to be in the audio. I apologize for the viewers. This is where I have Josh Allen, basically where whatever Justin said, total in agreement. You lead your fucking team. Don't be James Cook Merchant.
Fair enough. So for number 3, this is where I have the MVP, Matthew Stafford. My co-host tried to say I was biased. I don't know why I would be. I have no relation to the Rams or to anything near the Rams or to Matthew Stafford. I have no bias. I watch football and I can understand the signs. This guy is an elite receiver creator. There's something about him that just makes people around him better. I think it's probably his eye. He was able to make guys like Kenny Golladay into like very valid NFL receivers. And I think that it just shows like every year he's able to take another guy and just help elevate them to the next step and the next step. And this year he was just fantastic. He's got a crazy arm. He has crazy vision. He's consistently great. Like all the things that I want to see in a fantastic quarterback, Matthew Stafford does. You could argue that his performance against the Panthers was pretty disappointing, but he did have that clutch drive at the end of the game, which is another thing. Matthew Stafford is pretty consistently clutch. I think that really just all in all, Matthew Stafford does everything great that I want to see in a quarterback. And again, I have no relation to Stafford. There's no reason for me to think this except that I've seen him play much football, and I know how good he is. So for me, as far as this is concerned, Stafford is a top 3 guy as of right now. But the 2 guys that I have above him are just built different, basically.
Yeah. Number 3, I have Patrick Mahomes. The regression signs have shown, but the regression by our other consensus top 4 quarterback has just been significantly worse, in my opinion. Mahomes' team is starting to get significantly worse on him. This should be the Travis Kelce farewell. After seeing a lot of the things he's done since the season ended, I think that he's either one more and done, or he's just content with being done. He has everything going for him right now, which is crazy. The Chiefs are hurting, and regardless of them being out of contention, Mahomes is trying to do everything he can with a really, really shitty team. For a team that was a perennial Super Bowl contender, their defense has gotten softer, their receivers have gotten worse. Kelsey's regressed probably more than anybody in the league. I mean, he can't catch fucking wide open 5-yard hitches anymore. So Mahomes is doing the best with what he can, and you guys know that I hate Kermit the Frog more than anybody, but he's still a top elite level quarterback in my eyes. It's just his team keeps getting worse, so obviously his numbers are going to drop.
For me, this is where I have Lamar, because he was hurt for most of the year, and there's clear signs of regression. This Ravens team should have been a lot better than they were, and that's predicated definitely on him. The Ravens were kind of fraudulent this year. Dream team, like I keep saying, Dream Team 2012 Philadelphia Eagles. Lamar needs to become fucking better. He needs to be more accountable for his stuff, but I give him that leeway because he's been hurt. So this is where I have Lamar.
That's definitely fair. Number 2 is where I have Lamar. He's just insane. Obviously, he's like a top 5 regular season quarterback in NFL history, and that's like a part of it. But he's just got insane abilities, like across the board. Like, I remember when everybody said he couldn't throw. That's just we're so far removed from that now. He's just absurdly efficient. His last fully healthy season that we saw was when he gets robbed of the MVP from Josh Allen, where he has over 4,000 passing yards and around 1,000 rushing yards. One of the most efficient seasons we've ever seen. In the last playoff run that we saw Lamar in, he basically kind of like got rid of those playoff woes. People were criticizing him for not being able to play well in the playoffs. He plays well in those games. And if Mark Andrews knew how to catch a 2-point conversion, which for some reason he is just opposed to, I guess on a moral level, just opposed to doing it, then the Ravens would have probably tied. They would have tied the game, probably gone into OT and won. As far as I'm concerned, Lamar has addressed like almost all the issues. Obviously, there's always going to be the can he win the big one thing over his head, but I think for at least the last playoffs, that wasn't his fault. And just outside of that, he's just dumb. Like, he's so good. Like, it's insane. Like, I'm thinking of all the quarterbacks in the league. I really can think of only one quarterback that I would rather have than Lamar, which I will obviously talk about at 1, but Lamar is my solid number 2.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I also have Lamar here. I just don't think he's better than the guy above him, regardless of what the guy above him has dealt with in his career. Lamar has, like he said, he's addressed a lot of issues. I still think he's a glorified running back at heart. The arm talent isn't there, but the arm power is there. This is one of those guys who I can see getting better and better every year as his career goes on. And he's learning the big game of football. However, I think Lamar is going to be one of those guys who goes down as one of those guys who can't win it. It's not that it's going to be hanging over his head. I'm really comfortable with labeling him now if they don't win this year. Because, spoiler alert, when we get to it, my early prediction is that Baltimore, with their new head coach, will win the bowl. And if they don't do it this year, Lamar will not win one in Baltimore.
Fair.
This was tricky because, again, I do factor in the injuries, and we all usually are in consensus with this. Again, trying to make this short with the background noise. Unfortunately, this is where I have Joe Burrow.
Don't you grandstand filibuster right now. You know damn well you don't believe what you're about to say right now either.
Joe Burrow is the second best QB in the NFL because he was hurt this past year. There's not substantial sample size to him to grade anything for Joe Burrow in that sense of any Bengals team. If you get a full season of him, he's the best in the league, but he didn't have that this year. I'm sorry. He's just not the best. As of right now, he can be, but got to have a full season behind you for the NFL. So he's the second best.
Yeah, and I get the best abilities availability argument, but that brings me to my number 1. Justin and I are in agreement here. I mean, Joe Burrow is just unreal. Like, when he plays football, dude, when he plays a healthy season, I think he's had 3 healthy seasons now total. One of those he goes to the Super Bowl. One of those he goes to the AFC Championship game. The other one, he leads I think it was a 6-game stretch where he's able to get 6 straight wins and throw his team into playoff contention where they had no reason being. And he goes 9-8, and in those 8 losses, 6 of those games his defense allows over 30 points. there comes a point in time where Joe Burrow literally cannot carry any harder than what he's already trying to do. That was what that season was. But yeah, Joe Burrow is special. There's no question. He's known, like at one point, it was so good that Arrowhead was nicknamed Burrowhead because Joe Burrow was able to beat Patrick Mahomes in Arrowhead, which is something that his contemporaries, Josh Allen, especially Josh Allen, could not dream of doing. To me, he's just he when he plays football, he is the best in the world. He is the pure pocket passer type of quarterback. He is a guy that would fit right into our 2010s when we were growing up. He would fit right into that era. He is a pure pocket passer. He uses his brain. He can scan the field at high levels. Obviously, he has great receivers, but Joe Burrow, he is the best quarterback in football. And like Joel said, I get the best ability is availability. I think that's fair. But I think it would almost be a disservice to him not to have him here. And so that is why I have him at number 1. I assume that's also why Jules doesn't have JD on here, is because he was hurt. There's no really way to grade him. That's consistent, and that's fine. But yeah, for me, Joe Burrow is the best in the league.
Yeah. Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, get the GAT, whatever you want to call him, the LSU product. Since Patrick Mahomes' peak, and even with Patrick Mahomes' peak, Joe has been the best quarterback that I've seen when healthy on field in the last 10 years. There's no touching that, in my opinion. This dude comes back from his fucking toe injury because he has the worst line. Again, we talk about all the time that people could do stuff better with us out there. Literally, us three could go play line better than what the Bengals are putting in front of Joe. I love Joe Burrow. Being an LSU college fan and watching him play there with the receiving talent he had, being able to get to pair up with his number 1 option there as well in the NFL, something special. And they just continue to create that magic day in and day out on the field when he's on the field. Again, Joe is the best quarterback in football. There is no comparison. Lamar can't even lace his boots when it comes to being a quarterback. And if Joe was healthy, Joe was healthy, there would be no 2, 3, or 4 spot. Joe would be the top 4 himself. Like, to me, it's an untouchable top spot. And yes, I understand the injuries are a concern. They really are. But please, for the love of God, I will say it every episode, regardless of where we are in football, where we are in anything. Cincinnati, either get a line or trade the man, because you are wasting what could be top 4 all-time greatness in your backfield, running your offense. You are wasting it.
Yeah, the Andrew Luck comparisons, I think, are merited.
Yeah, in agreement.
He's
And
better
this
than
is
Andrew
why.
Luck.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
This is where I have Stafford, and it's funny because people know me as the Stafford hater here. But this is why I was so critical of Stafford, is because after week 3, he gapped everybody and helped with McVay being the mind behind him. There's a reason why the Rams traded for him, because of what he was doing in Detroit. He fit their system, fit their scheme. He does help their offense. I don't glaze him as much as my co-host here, but I do understand Matt Stafford's ability, and I've always loved Stafford, and this is showing because I think he's the best QB in the league because he played all the games. He helped them to be one of the greatest offenses this year. He has everything behind him metrically when he wasn't even supposed to be playing this year. Astronomical and fantastic. And again, this is why I was so critical about Stafford this whole year, because I understood that he was the best in the league. And that's why I got fucking emotional for this game, because I knew that Matthew Stafford is that motherfucker, and he's a damn good QB. He deserves all the stuff that he gets. I do think he gets a little bit overrated, but again,
you're putting him at number 1.
I'm putting him at number 1 because, again, I think the MVP of the league, and the fact that he was, he fell short of expectations, but he doesn't play defense. Can't put that ultimately on him. You can argue that he outdueled Sam Darnold, but he's playing against what I think is an all-time defense. He did everything that they needed. I don't think he's going to be the best QB in the league next year. I think I see clear regression. I don't see a cortisone shot helping him for another fucking year. But that's why, again, I think he is the best because he is as good as everybody else. And I was very reluctant to have him in my top 5 for a long time. But looking back at it and looking at these stats, looking at the games, watching the film, he deserves the praise. And for this year, because like we said, everybody else was fucking dog shit or hurt, kind of by default. No offense.
Well, and I think as far as Stafford goes, I think that you brought up a good point about the cortisol shots. Big shout out to that team doctor because he went from will he even be able to play this year to MVP. So whatever they did, I don't know. Maybe they bought that one Madden trait in the Madden Sims that allows you to have the Fountain of Youth for 1 year, but I don't know. It could be. I think we probably will see a little bit of regression, but. One thing we can say is no matter who you have at your number 1, only one quarterback has the ability to play for the Oakland Athletics next year, and that is Kyler Murray. So Kyler Murray really wins in the end. But that being said, that's our lists, and that was our free agency stuff. So Justin, I believe, take it away.
Yeah. So my co-hosts know I was very under the weather today, so I was very ill prepared for my segment of the day. So what I did is kind of an interesting one, and I think you guys might be interested in it. It's going to be more like a roundtable kind of discussion. We can all be a part of it. It's basically a sports like congeniality like quiz type thing. It's like a would you rather, like just kind of like the basic type shit.
Okay.
So the first one on the list that I have here is, would you rather be the star of a bad team or the worst player on an elite team?
Oh.
Worst player on an elite team because I become ball knowledge.
That's actually...
Yeah, but, I mean, it's the equivalent of, do you want to just be there to collect your trophy at the end of the year, or do you want to leave a legacy?
Star on a bad team, not just because of the legacy, but because of this.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you there. I'm going to have to agree with Jules. Championships are king regardless of, because guess what? You might be able to collect a bag on a bad team, but if you win enough on an elite team, and that team changes out, but you stay there, and you have the most rings, then we get into those casual ring culture assholes that might want to put me as the greatest of all time.
Well, and I get that. The way that I see it is championship rings can't pad my 401k or my IRA, and as far as championship rings go, that's cool, but I want to create generational wealth for me and my family.
Because like that, I mean, that literally ties into the second question. It says, would you rather win an MVP or a team championship? So do you want to...
At that point, I would say
Exactly. By your logic there, you were like, oh yeah, I can win an MVP if my team doesn't win at all, but if I'm there to just collect the championship, like...
Well, the thing is, being the star makes money. I don't necessarily have to be so as far as the MVP versus championship, I can be on that championship team and be a great player and just not be an MVP. And I would take that. That's fine. I'll be for example, Matthew Stafford wins MVP, but I'd rather be Sam Darnold than Matthew Stafford this year. I'll tell you that right now.
That's fair.
I would agree.
All right. The third one is a fan base question, like a fan basis. Like, as a fan, what would you rather do? As a fan, would you rather watch a regular season game courtside, or a high stakes playoff game from a view obstructed area?
Regular season game courtside.
I would probably do a playoff game.
Yeah, that's the one I'd have to agree with retro, strictly for the atmosphere, because everyone's going to be live. You could be courtside or field side for an absolute like fucking blowout when you're playing a dog shit team, but if you're in the playoffs and you feel the electricity in the air and you're there, you can say you were there.
Can I add like a qualifier, Jules? What if it was like courtside, but it was for like a Charlotte game versus a high stakes playoff game with view obstruction?
Probably that.
You say a Charlotte game, bro. We want to go see Charlotte.
Yeah, what? Okay. Well,
we're looking to see Jive at the Hive 2.0.
That's actually that that's a fair point. Let's say Kings game. Would you rather see a courtside Kings game or the playoff?
I
game?
would sell my tickets. I wouldn't even go.
Literally.
Jules, you're just selling the tickets and staying home.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that. I'm selling that shit.
All right, another one. Would you rather take responsibility for losing a championship or have a teammate take the credit for the win when you deserved it?
Oh, a teammate take the credit. I do not want to be a slander guy. Absolutely not. You would get a slander nickname. They'd be all over you on Twitter. It would be like a whole thing.
You don't want to be the fall guy.
Yeah, dude, listen, I don't need credit. Like, my teammate can take the credit because, you know why? Because the fans know who actually deserves the credit. Like, if some player takes the credit for a game win, all the fans are like, be so for real, bro. Like,
I'd much rather blow it, to be honest. I mean, I
100.
get remembered, but like, I'll take that slander because being from Philly, who was the Justin? You might know this. Who was the guy who led up the home run against the Toronto Blue Jays in the back-to-back?
Oh, the pitcher. I can't remember, dude.
He does radio for Philly, and he still gets shit to his day, but Philly fans now respect him because he owns it. He's like, that's on me, being accountable. And if you understand that you can be accountable, a city will forgive you over time. So I much rather go through remorse and be forgiven than just be pissy about it.
But I feel like you just the other choice is you just get the ring, and also like your fans will cape for you because they say that you don't even have to do anything in that situation.
But you don't know the fans. Like the fans will know, but like you don't know what they're saying. They could be saying some nasty shit. You know what I mean? We did that in basketball.
Well, that's where I make my burner account, and we have KD Files Part 2, where I go after all the fans on Twitter.
All right, so the next one, you guys remember the famous Tyrese Halliburton choke recreation shot last year in the playoffs? So this one's kind of like similar to that, and I know which option Tyrese took by the way he dribbled the basketball. Would you rather ensure overtime or risk losing to win in regulation?
Ensure overtime.
Ensure OT.
Like 99, the only time I wouldn't is if I know for a fact my team is not good enough to win.
I was gonna say, at that point, you're literally banking on yourself or your teammates, and if I'm in that spot, I'm trusting my teammates. We got there, so let's do it.
Yeah, the only time would literally be like for example, in a Pacers situation. I think that if it was like Pacers have the ball last shot to either win or tie the game, I would try to win. Like that would be, I wouldn't want to try to go to OT with that Thunder team.
God, this might be the most congeniality question on this list, but I'm going to ask it because it's funny. Would you rather have really cool uniforms and a rundown stadium or a state-of-the-art stadium with ugly-ass uniforms?
Stadium. Bro, uniforms are temporary. Stadium is forever, okay? You can change your uniforms in 1 year. You can't change a stadium for at least 8 or 9. Like,
that's fair. Would you rather have a long, average playing career or have a short, fantastic career cut short by injury?
Okay. Ouch.
I'll take the Johnny Moore route, thank you.
Yeah, so do I want to be Derrick Rose or Johnny Moore? Man. Well, you could be just Robert Horry, right? And you go win like 8 rings, feel like the greatest, like one of the greatest winners ever. Everybody just looks back at you as like a crazy good role player. I don't know, probably that one, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go like 2 more. Would you rather in a series, would you rather go in as the favorite or go in as the underdog?
Oh, the underdog. Every time.
Probably the underdog.
Dude, that's just bulletin board material, bro. Everybody's going in there like they don't think we can win.
Yeah.
Lock it in. Let's go.
The last one I'll do, just because Retro mentioned that man's name, even though we're on a football podcast, he said KD. Would you rather stay on a below average team or join your rival and win a title?
Below average team. I'm not
below average team.
If as a Washington fan, I would actually rather unalive than join the Cowboys, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Holy fuck, I'm not running fives with you ever in my life, Justin. Fuck you. That's
Is
so nasty.
crazy. I would never betray my team for a rival. Absolutely. Jules, could you imagine you get a contract offer from like the 49ers and they're like, "Hey, listen, free guaranteed ring. All you got to do is sign the It feels like you're selling your soul."
Okay, but here, let me put it into perspective for you. Think about it. You've been there. Say you went through your rookie contract. You end up signing an extension because your team was okay and you believed in the process and this, that, and the other. 3 years go by after your rookie contract, and this team is just downward spiral, downward spiral, downward spiral. The other team looks really fucking good. They've been making championship pushes, but they need that thing to just get over the edge. They need to get over the edge. You're that piece that they're going to gamble on.
See,
but it is your rival. So you are the piece that completes your rival's puzzle.
No, because you have to think, bro. You know why I wouldn't do it? Because even if I ever got caught thinking about it, I would go onto like my team's TikTok fan pages and I would see all the fans saying, "Man, thank God we have him. Like at least we have him. I know we suck, but at least we have him." Like that's what everybody would be saying, and that is enough for me to know that my fans.
So you say, hold on. I want to be clear now because now we're gonna get you caught in your own fuckery here. So you can say all this shit, and you could be, man. You know, it's better when the athlete stays loyal, even when shit's going. Mister, I want Giannis to come to the Bulls. Are you kidding?
I would criticize Giannis for it, but I would want him to do it. Yeah, yes.
See what I mean? This guy says he doesn't lie and he doesn't do anything, but in any situation that benefits him, I
would criticize him for it. I would. I would say he's a traitor. I would also say that good. Thank you for coming.
And to keep consistent with me, I've been predicated on not wanting Giannis. I want my guys, so I'm loyal.
Well, like I said, I would criticize him and call him a traitor, and I would also definitely take his services. There's no question.
Okay, I want to ask this one because this one's interesting. Especially because
as a basketball player in the National Basketball Association, Jules Compton.
I want to ask this one just because it predicates to Jules' little Johnny Moore thing, because he did not play a year and then came back. Would you rather retire for a year would you rather retire for a year in your free agency year to avoid playing a season with your team, or would you stick it out for the year?
So it's like a Calvin Johnson type thing?
Yeah, would you retire because it's going nowhere to save your body?
Probably
retire. I think honestly, it depends on the team that I'm on. Like,
no, your body knows when you're done.
Got it. So you wouldn't leave your yeah, but he's retiring for a year. He's trying to get into a different situation. So you'll say you won't leave your team to go join your rival to win a championship to be the piece they need, but you'll retire for a year because your team fucking blows to come back and get on a
No. That's actually not what it is. It's not about record. If they were good, it wouldn't matter. What matters to me is how they treat me during this process. There are some teams that just hoe their best players. Like, we're not going to give you anywhere near the amount of... If we're, like, very close, like, in our figures, but it just needs to go up a little bit more, I'm willing to kind of stick it out. But if you're going to treat me terribly and just say, like, yeah, bro, we're nowhere near what you want, yeah, we're going to have a problem. Like, and at that point, I might just leave.
Okay, I lied. I want to ask one more because I'm actually intrigued to what you guys would see for this. So you're a star player. You're on trajectory to be like one of the greats of all time.
Okay.
Would you rather peak early in your career or late in your career?
Late. Because you know why? Because people will say it's way more impressive to peak late.
Okay, so I'm going to be the guy that takes the other route. I'd rather peak early in case I get injured.
Yeah, but it's like, but the thing is, when you ask the question, peaking late assumes that you're going to be healthy. Because you wouldn't be able to peak late unless you were healthy.
The world is a crazy pace, bro. Freak accidents happen all the time.
That's fair.
No.
John Wall got hurt getting out of the shower.
That's also fair. I just much rather not be a what if. Me personally.
Yeah, and again, it's like, if you peak late, people are going to go to your career and they're going to say, dude, look at what this guy was doing at like 34. Like, take Kawhi, for example. Kawhi is arguably peaking right now. And people are going to go back to this year, and they're going to be like, my God, like, that is insane.
Yeah, some people he's going to make them restructure their top 10 list.
Yeah, listen, he might be. He could be higher, could be lower.
All right. Well, that's all for the congeniality sports for that. Moving swiftly into the sports history fact of the day. March 3rd, 2024. So very recent. Iowa's Caitlin Clark becomes the NCAA Division I all-time scoring leader, surpassing Pete Maravich in a 35-point win over visiting Ohio State University.
Ohio State sucks at basketball.
You know what? They're actually pretty good this year. In men's college basketball, they're pretty good. They'll probably be a tournament team.
Mind you, Jules, at the end of the month, I'm actually going to Columbus for a softball tournament, so I'll have to go and snap some photos to send to you of the campus.
That'd be sick.
Maybe go take a piss on the horseshoe. I don't know.
Wide receiver, you, by the way.
Yeah, wear your Michigan stuff. See what happens.
I don't have any Michigan stuff, but God, do I want to.
No, don't buy it. Don't.
Let me get a JJ McCarthy Michigan jersey.
Have more respect for yourself. Don't degrade yourself to that level.
I would never. I think I've owned one Michigan thing in my life, and it's because it was given to me by my buddy's dad, who played for Michigan in like 1967.
Yeah,
and it was like an old school like crew neck sweater, like varsity Letterman looking thing, and it was just really cool. So I'm like, and his dad gave it to me because his kids were significantly smaller, and he played O-line. He's like, well, none of my kids will ever wear this. Do you want it? And I'm like, yeah, that's pretty sick. So.
Well, and I mean, nobody. I think this is almost universally true. I don't know if I've ever met anybody that's not that's like not a Michigan fan that likes Michigan. I feel like everybody hates Michigan unless you're like from there.
If you don't like Michigan or Ohio State, odds are you hate them. Like that's just a thing.
I mean, exactly. Yeah, that's basically how it works. Yeah.
Yes.
There's no neutral feelings towards either of those schools. You either like them or you just hate them.
Correct.
There's no in between. But yeah, I think that is everything. Jules, take it away, brother.
That was We Don't Know Ball. Football edition for our QBs and some of the trades and off-season inquiries. Hopefully within the next few weeks we'll be ramping up for the off-season and the draft and that kind of thing. That would be very cool. Please like, subscribe, comment on our stuff. We're finally putting stuff on our TikTok page. We Don't Know Ball 25. Follow us on there. Follow our individual TikToks of We Don't Know Ball Justin, Retrospect Music, and Jules Compton for our sports takes, our music takes that are trash, and the fact that
my music
we
takes
want to get a following, and we like hearing from people who aren't fucking negative, you Detroit Pistons fans. So again, thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.